So welcome to Copernicus Corner. I am back in Watcher of Realms, and I'm going to do a few pulls here in a little bit to, see what we can get. I think we've got some events going on here. Um, I haven't really looked at them much, but the spiritual altar is running. So for summoning heroes, we earn rewards that can get us various things, such as more diamonds and things of that nature. Um, we also have the Tales of the Smith, which we're going to enhance some gear and see how far we can get along in this Tales of the Smith quest here. So I think maybe I will do that first. That seems like a fine idea. Well, maybe I better go check on the arena first before anything else. I'll do a refresh on these guys. And here we have a low BP guy with only one enemy, or one guy that they have along with them. We'll go ahead and do the auto fight. Sometimes those can be a little bit trickier than you think they can, because you notice that even though her Farcon has 61,000 BP, the monster BP is like 230,000, which is still lower than what we've got here, but significantly higher than what it appears if you don't look at that number. So they've thrown Edril out, and during the skill effect, each basic attack fires 3 consecutive shots to one enemy, each dealing 80% damage, lasting for 25 seconds. During the ultimate, the hero's attack range becomes unlimited, and their attacks no longer prioritize airborne units. And so, their goal here is to try to kill these creatures so quickly that they end up winning. Our BP is quite a bit higher than the monster's BP, even though the BP is much higher than Barkon's BP. So I think ultimately we're going to win this, but I can see how they can end up winning quite a few battles because people think that they're a lot weaker than they are. So this is why it's very important to check the monster BP before you attack people in the arena. It can be significantly higher than you think it's going to be. So, alright, the stats on that, you can see that their Edril did 2,206,000 damage. That is the highest damage that any of the characters did in this. That's followed by my Arrogance, who did 2,087,000. So, something to think about, keep in mind. Alright, we got 3 arena coins and 5 auto fight attempts from that. Let's see if there's anybody else on this list we want to attack first before we go do other things. No, there doesn't seem to be. So, alright. Hopping back out here, we can come on into the storage and should have quite a bit of stuff that we can enhance real fast. So we'll just say 0 to 3. We only want to look at that stuff, and we're going to just enhance as much of it as possible. Go to bulk or co-organize. I can't speak apparently. We want to do all of them. Ideally we want to get all of them up to level 4. It's we're not going to probably have enough coins to do that, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. So let's do level 4 and enhance until we run out of gold. That's like 909 pieces, I think it said. So let's see where we get to, and you'll note that the Tales of the Smith is increasing regularly here. And so the plan is, we'll enhance everything that we can up to level 4, which we did. We were able to do all of it, and then we'll go through and look and see what we actually want to keep out of that and sell the rest at this point, and then we'll have more money to be able to enhance more things. But first, let's go have a look and see how far along that got us in the Tales of the Smith just doing that. 909 pieces. It got us a good ways. 2,503 points. That's not bad. just from stuff that I already had in my bags. So we can go ahead and claim these. We got a 4-star socket power, 20 diamonds, 60,000 gold, 1 rare summoning crystal, 1 small stamina potion, 1 rare skill crystal for that. Now if we come over here, we can go back to that and we can look. Well, hold on. Do I have anything running? I don't have anything running in the background. So come over here and look at the stuff that's 4 to 7, which is what we were just, we just bumped a bunch of stuff up to that level. So we just want to look at this stuff here that's, between 4 and 7 and find out, do I actually want to keep this stuff or do I want to sell it? So first off, I'm going to go to bulk sell, and then I'm going to go through and look at them and determine if I do want to give them a chance to go to the next highest or the next level or the next level set, I suppose, or not. And if it's not something that I'm very interested in, I'm going to go ahead and sell it at this point. And so it has to have done pretty well on its initial tick for me to keep it, because the whole point of this currently is to have enough resources to be able to finish up Tales of the Smith, hopefully this time around, which I did manage it last time Tales of the Smith came, and I wasn't as prepared then as I was this time. So I'm hopeful that we can be able to do that and also be able to put on some new gear on my guys. So that's where that's sitting at the moment. I see no reason to keep anything that didn't do well, even if the possibilities are good, because that's really not the plan. The plan is more to complete the Tales of the Smith than anything else and get all of those rewards from that. So we're going to be able to sell a lot of this stuff because it's not, it didn't do well enough for me to keep it. And then after, messing around with this, I'll go and do some summons and see if we get anything fun from that. And that will help with the spiritual altar. And, who knows? Anything could go there, right? I don't want to go too crazy with it because my understanding is we've got like the painter and the paintress coming up. And I want to be sure to have something to spend for summons on that. But I can certainly use my crystals and then just hold on to the diamonds, which is what I've been doing lately in preparation for that. It's too bad it scored so low on some of these things. And while you can re-roll on this stuff, again, with what I'm doing right now and the fact that, what I'm looking at the moment is actually only legendary gear right now anyway, I can't imagine any real reason to do that. If it was mythic, there'd be more possibility, more incentive to do that. As things stand, I don't really see it. Hopefully, by the end of this stint, I'll have enough decent gear to be able to upgrade a few things for some of the heroes. We'll see how it goes, but it's feel like it's a decent possibility that could happen. Only one way to find out, right? And I could go ahead and sell what we've got here chosen, and then move on with some summoning, and then come back to this in a moment, which I may do momentarily, because there's definitely a lot of things to go through here, and we don't necessarily have to go through all of it at once. We've gotten down to mythics now, and so we can just make note of where we're at in this, and then come back to it later. Like right now, we're on the whirlwind breastplates, right? So let's say I get to the bottom of the whirlwind breastplates, then I'll know exactly where I'm at, assuming that I can sort of call such a thing and remember to come back to it. That's always the biggest issue, is remembering what I'm doing at any given moment. Telling you, I've got a mind like a steel seed. All right, I'm going to go ahead and select this. So that's the whirlwind breastplate. I'm actually going to type it in here so that I can't possibly forget. Whirlwind breastplate. And then, once I'm finished doing a few summons, I'll come back over and do some more of these. So let's sell these. And that's 259 pieces. And they think I'm crazy, but that's all right. We got a good little chunk of gold there for that. That was over 1 million gold. And so when we come back, we'll try to find that whirlwind breastplate again if possible. If I can manage such an event. Didn't really think about the fact that I don't actually know what it looks like, but it was certainly, there we go. It's going to be these right here. All right, so when we come back to it, we can do some more of that. And again, we still have quite a ways to go through that. So we'll come back after we do some of these pulls. All right. What else do I need to do? Nothing right now over there that's important. So yes, okay. Summons, and we've got 12 summons to do. So let's do 3 or 4, and then we'll go back and do some gear, and then maybe some more of this. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we have the special invocation of spirits, which increases your chances of getting these guys who are in the upper right-hand corner. It increases the chances of getting those 20 times. So if you pull a legendary, for instance, because you've hit the slot for pulling that, then your chances of getting the Aries, or I guess it's Eris technically, or Raisin is increased by 20 times. Okay, if that makes sense. And then if you hit an epic slot, then your chance of getting like Demos, Navras, and Lightlock is increased 20 times. So, that's how that works. And then for the crazy invocation of spirits, that means your chances of getting a legendary hero go up by 2. So if you previously had like a 0.04% chance to get a legendary in the slot, then you would now have a 0.08% chance to get that. All right. So, I haven't hit a legendary in quite a while. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been a good long time. And so, that being the case, it would make the most sense for me, probably, to to do the 20 times the special invocation spirits. There's also a special divine summoning and a crazy divine summoning, which is like the same thing as this other stuff, except you're only gonna get 4 and 5 stars with these legendary summoning crystals. So, all right, now back to the special invocation of spirits. I don't actually know anything about Eris or Raisin, which I can see from right here. We've got a fighter and a marksman. You know, that seems fine. Let's go ahead and see what we can get. First summon. And it is a Elukos, the 3-star marksman from the cultist faction. Not every day you see an ivory-skinned goblin with frosty arrows that inflict slow he just can't miss. Alright, we'll go summon again. And this time we got Ryder, the 2-star fighter. Obsessed with Arlo, this double-bladed warrior mimics his every move and heavily increase his own attack. Okay, let's continue. And we will summon again and see what we get this time. Looks like it's Rumnose, the 2-star defender. This cheeky goblin can't stay out of the drink. When healthy, he's mighty hard to take down. Alright, we'll do one more summon right now, and then we'll go work on some of that gear enhancements. Alright, we got Rumnose again. Out of 4 summons, we got Rumnose twice. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Alright, so we got some spiritual altar points for that. Let's hop out of here. And head back over to look at this stuff in storage again. So the 4 to 7s, and then we want to go down to the end of the whirlwind breastplates, wherever they might be. Ah, they're these guys here. Okay. So we want to go to bulk sell. And then we want to go down to the end of this again, because that was the screen I needed to be on, not the other. And go through some of this stuff. And then, theoretically, we can head back over there and pull some more guys after we go through the process of getting rid of some of this gear that we don't necessarily have any interest in doing more to. Theoretically, I should be getting more gear soon enough, because I've been doing a lot of gear raids and things like that for the Oracle trial. The Oracle trials, really. And so, I'm not too worried about tossing stuff. It doesn't have a good start to it, you know? I feel like that's... It's an okay way to go about it. It's a little slower than some, probably, but that's okay. I don't mind moving at a slow rate of speed. You know, I'm an 80s kid. I got all the patience in the world. So, anyway, hopefully it'll turn out alright doing it this way. One way or another. Doesn't cost anything but time, right? And what are we doing in these games if it's not, you know, just something to do? You know, there's no need to rush. That's my thought on it. Hopefully I don't accidentally trash something that would actually be decent, though, as far as, like, you know, got a good roll off the bat or something, and I don't notice it because I go, you know, road blind, whatever you want to call it, armor blind, maybe, clicking away and not paying enough attention to what it actually looks like. But if I do, I do. No big deal, really. I mean, I'd kick myself a little bit, but again, at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's not a big deal. So, hopefully, everyone is doing well tonight. I am hanging out at my son's cards and comics shop again, where I've been for pretty much all day, um, doing one thing and then another. There was a magic tournament tonight, and that was, that was a few hours long, of course, as they are. And tomorrow, there's going to be another tournament. It's going to be a draft, and of course, I will be participating in that, as is my usual want to do. Um, Always enjoy drafts. They put people on a more equal playing field, in my opinion, as far as what cards they have access to, and that is good in a lot of ways. Um, it's no, it's more entertaining. Um, there's only so much you can do to balance things in any game, but in Magic, it's you've got luck, you've got strategy, you have experience. There's deck building, um, understanding synergy. There's putting the right amount of mana. There's math. So it's just kind of a wide range of, I suppose, skills to be considered. And so a person can be good at one part of the game and not good at another part of the game, or mediocre at everything, or whatever. Um, so there's always that to be considered. And so when I say that it puts everybody on a more equal playing field, what I'm referring to is that they all have basically the same pool of cards to choose from. And even that's not entirely true, because the first hand you draw, you open a pack and you choose one card from that pack, and then you pass the pack around. So the first person who opens the pack has access to whatever's in the first pack, obviously, and that is access that no one else has. And so, say you're the fourth person in a pod, for instance, then there's going to be 3 cards in that pack that you never had the opportunity to get because they weren't passed to you. So there's, of course, you had access to something else before anyone else did, all like that. So it's not 100% that you have access to the same cards, but you pretty much do. I remember when I first did a draft ever, and this was back in the mid-90s, there wasn't anything established like that with the pods and stuff like that. And so the way that we did it was we would have like 2 people, and we'd put out 4 cards in front of you between the 2 people, and one of you would pick the first card, get first pick, and then the next person would pick 2 cards, and then the first person would get whatever remained from that. So you both ended up with 2 cards, but it was, I don't know if I think it was better or worse. I mean, certainly it was a different way to do it than what to do now. But it was fun, and it's fun now. So don't really, a lot of things have changed in that game over the last 30 years. And there's been some things that I liked and some things that I didn't like. in those changes. Um, but I think that that was an aspect that I don't know if a lot of people that play today had experience with, because the pod drafting is what most people think of when they think of drafting in Magic. I don't think that, most of the people who were playing at that time were, I don't think that most of the people who are playing now were playing competitively then in tournaments, because the only time you were going to see something like that would be in tournaments. There was a lot at the time of tabletop, they call it kitchen table Magic. Um, so there was a lot of that going on, and then you'd have some stores that might sell Magic cards, but just didn't have a lot of stores that were holding tournaments at that time. Um, they were kind of here and there, but not a great deal of that going around. And so then to also put in the fact that this was draft, um, that was just very rare. There was a lot more sealed deck going on at the time. Um, sealed was not a big deal. They had these things called deck boxes back then. And so to do a sealed tournament, you would basically purchase one deck box in 2 packs, and that would be where your pool of cards would come from. And it was I think a pretty simple way to do it. And since they didn't have a good drafting, or standardized, I guess I'd say, they didn't have a standardized drafting technique that was done the same from one place to another necessarily. And so it was just not something that was widespread then. And I was just fortunate to live in a town where the guy who ran the local game store that hosted this stuff was really at the top of his game as far as this kind of thing went. He had a comic book store that also sold sports cards, and my brother basically convinced him to start selling Magic cards and start hosting tournaments. And there were 4 of us in our play group, and this was in I would say this was in probably early in 1994 that this happened, and it may have been late 1993. I don't recall. I know we started playing, I think, at the end of 93. It was between when The Dark came out and when Revised came out. And so anyhow, that's when we had started. And then after we learned how to play a little bit and had it kind of under our belt, we wanted to start doing tournaments, and we wanted our local guy to start carrying it. And so we did convince him to do that by saying, look, here's the thing, we 4 will buy it. You get a box of that, and if nobody else buys it, if we can't get anybody else to play, we'll buy it, whatever you bought. And so we had been customers of his for some time, as comics customers, and also we were doing a little bit of baseball card collecting. And so we had been going there and buying from him for a while by then. So he knew that we were good for it if he chose to do that. So it was interesting, all very interesting. And that was how it got started here. And we were just very lucky to have that opportunity, in my opinion. We're going to sell all this stuff. It's 476 pieces of gear. It's crazy. We're doing it. Let's go. All right, so that was 3,493,000 gold, and that sets us in a pretty good position as far as our gold goes. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back and go to bulk organize. We're going to do the bulk enhancement again. And this time I'm going to check and see. Well, actually, I think I already checked all of these, obviously, to make sure that they were good to enhance again. So let us enhance all of these 210 things up to level 8 now. All right, it's going to eat up a lot of our money to do this. But it's okay, because that's the whole point of selling things that are suboptimal. All right, so we enhanced 210 pieces up to level 8 now. And before I go any further, I want to go and check and see how this Tales of the Smith is going. We got another couple of levels here, so we got 40 more diamonds and 100,000 gold for that. It's not bad, moving right along in the right direction. So, see the Brave Conquest is also happening here, that we get stuff from looting gear pieces and meteorites from gear raid and artifact material raids, which is cool. We've got a good bit of stuff we can get on this. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and claim what we've got here. We got 50,000 gold, 20 diamonds, 1 small stamina potion, and 1 3-star psychic power for that. Over at the spiritual altar from summoning those 4 guys that we summoned there, we've got 50,000 gold. All right, cool. Let's go back out of there. And how about we go back to our storage, and we just upgraded all of that to level 8, right? So we should have nothing here, nothing here. That's right. All right. Now, 8 to 11 is where we want to look. And we have a good bit in this range. Now we're going to go to bulk sell and start looking through and determining which things I'm interested in keeping and which ones I'm not. And again, I'm going to be kind of harsh because I don't want to keep a bunch of stuff and waste a bunch of money, a bunch of coins, if it's not a high quality item that I'm interested in moving forward with. So, I'm going to go ahead and sell off probably a good amount of it. That's been my experience so far. Gotta keep things streamlined around here, I'll actually keep that one. Normally wouldn't be of interest to me, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna keep. Can't give in to temptation on every one of them that looks okay though, because otherwise I'll end up wasting all of my money, and then that won't be a great position to be in. So, have to be. Keep things a little bit, like I said, streamlined, no sense in, wasting a bunch of money on stuff and then regretting my decisions, But the thing is that with keeping it, I can always, sell it later. If I get rid of it too harshly, then I can't come back and get it back later. So it's one of those things. Do I want to? Do I not want to? Just kind of gotta make quick decisions-ish on it and see how it goes. I'm actually keeping more of it than I thought I would, um, which is cool. It means some of this gear is better than I thought it was going to end up being. And of course, we'll see what the next round of enhancements brings. But I think it's looking pretty decent so far, and I'm gonna have some replacements for some of the gear they currently have on, and that'll be nice. My poor guys have been just kind of destitute, and they've been going around in the rags that I allowed them to wear. Like, you guys have just got to deal with that for a while because, hey, Tales of the Smith isn't running right now, you know? So they've been going around with their shoes falling off and stuff. Gotta wait for the opportune time. So, I think it'll definitely make things look a lot better. So we're selling 74 of these guys here. 664,000 gold for that. And then the rest of it, we're gonna go back and go to bulk organize and all of our 8 to 11 stuff that we have left at this point needs to be enhanced. So let's go ahead and enhance it, and it's going to take it up to level 12 for everything. And it'll cut into our gold a decent amount more, but we should get quite a few Tales of the Smith points for it. We were able to successfully enhance 165 items, so that's cool. The ones that couldn't be enhanced were because they were as high level as they can go, being as how they are epics. So now we cut that stuff out, look at our 12 to 15s, and now all of the legendary stuff is as good as it's going to get for the moment. But I say for the moment, I mean, it's as good as it's going to get ever. So we don't need to look at that. We can just go straight to looking at these items here, the red ones, and then again we can go to bulk sell and look at what we have here. Some of this stuff is pretty good, and we're definitely not going to want to sell it. Some of it is questionable, so probably most of it I'm going to end up keeping, and then a little of it I'm gonna sell. So if it got this far, it's doing pretty well for the most part. And then I should be able to go through and fix some of the equipment on some of my guys, just improve things here and there a little bit. You know, I wanted that to be better than it is, but I've decided I'm going to go ahead and keep it anyway, just because, at least for the moment, because I like that attack speed, and I want to go ahead and keep it for now. and then maybe later I'll dump it. We'll see how that goes. Probably. But not quite yet. I think I keep it for the moment. And see how things are looking after we get the last bar on some of this stuff. Overall, though, it's come out pretty okay, I think. So let's sell all this stuff. It's only 4 pieces, so easily done. 105,000 gold for that. And then I think I want to go ahead and enhance the rest of it. So let's go to bulk organize. We want all of this to be enhanced up to level 16, but wait a minute, did I, okay, yes, that's what I want. Alright, bulk enhance all of it to level 16, and, see how far we get with that. I think we won't get very far. Deep thoughts, actually. Maybe I don't try that yet. I may just keep it for the moment and come back to that later. Okay. I think that's the right answer. Get out of there, and we gotta come check on Root over here because he's got some stuff. Let's buy these auto attack chances there. Let's go check on this. Okay, I already got the stamina potion. Alright, good to go. Let's go do a few more summons here. Alright, summons. We're going to go back to the special invitation of spirits and see what we can get. We're going to do a few of these. Alright, we got Sheilor, 3-star fighter. 2 axes are better than 1. Sheilor's blood surge throws her into a frenzy. Alright, Sheilor. And then, what do we have next? There's Rumnose, the 2-star defender. This cheeky goblin can't stay out of the drink. When healthy, he's mighty hard to take down. It's great. He's hanging out. Gauntlet, the 3-star mage from the Esotericist faction. Yay, he has affection. That's one prickly goblin. Gopa flings AoE spikes with abandon while inflicting slow. And then we have Langland, the 2-star healer. Langland is as devout as can be. His healing magic dispels negative effects, keeping allies in the fight. Cool. Langland, the green healer. Here's Decimus, the 3-star fighter. Relentless to the T, this undead warrior stays in the fight even after his health has been depleted. And now for Rogers, the 2-star defender. Stalwart and loyal, Rogers can bolster his own defenses to become a human wall. Got 2 more of these rare summoning crystals, so we may as well go ahead and use them. Here we have Jonas, the 2-star fighter. A classic drunkard with a spear. He may be a deserter, but he sure can bolster himself in a fight. Ah, now we have something. It's Nalvris, the 4-star mage from the Nightmare and Esotericist factions. Every child in Tia has had nightmares of Nalvris. He deals AoE damage and summons exploding scarecrows. We'll go ahead and share that. We have Nalvris, and I may have him awakened once, but certainly I can awaken him again. I don't know if I do have him awakened once or not. Well, let's go check and see how that's looking. First, though, let's pop over and get our 2 4-star psychic power shards from summoning a dude. We also have a weekly reward, enhance 3 pieces of fear to level 8, which gives us 1 random quartz keystone level 1 to 2. And then we got a monthly thing, enhance 5 pieces of gear to level 12, which gives us 30,000 gold. We definitely use it, that's for sure. Excellent. Okay, we also have the Gold Dragon Pass over here with weekly quests. Successfully enhanced gear 20 times. We managed that one. Let's claim it. We got 750 gold dragon tokens and leveled up to 47 for that. Checking our level rewards, we now have 5 gear recasting hammer shards. Alright, cool, cool. Now, in the events tab on the Tales of Smith, we have, oh, finished everything out. Cool, cool. So, as a result of that, we got 200 diamonds, 2 huge stamina potions, 180,000 gold, and 4 rare summoning crystals. Very nice, I like it. In the Spiritual Altar tab, we have 100 epic skill dust. Also a good thing. So, we've finished out Tales of the Smith, no need to enhance anything else quite yet. We also have something over here that I haven't looked at yet, which is the Knapsack Edition. It says, Knapsack Edition. With 4 days and 1 hour left on it, calling all Flutterbusters. Sort out the treasures, organize your knapsack, and uncover the hidden rewards. Narvi's mine is a never-ending source of treasures, leaving her storeroom a complete mess. Commander Orion, I'm in need of your help. Commander says, Little Narvi, one must manage their own tasks, and I'm swamped as it is. Narvi says it's simple. Just pack all the scattered treasures into the knapsacks. I'll make it worth your while. Narvi will offer a token of gratitude for each knapsack filled. Commander says, all right, I suppose I can help you out. Now, this is not my forte. I can tell you that right now. What have we here? Well, who knows, honestly? Well, let's just start putting things... Okay, so this only takes up 2 spots. Alright. Let's see. This takes up 4 spots. I wonder how much room... Okay, does this take up... It takes up, yes, all of that. I don't suppose we're going to be able to turn these or anything. No, can't turn them. Okay, good to know. I mean... I'm thinking we just try some things and then see how it turns out. Because, organizing knapsacks is certainly not going to be my forte. We got 30 diamonds and 50 stamina for that one. And otherwise, I'm just guessing on everything. This is a 2 block. Now we don't have one. Okay, let's just throw some stuff down for the moment and then we'll try to arrange it better in a minute. That's my deep thought. Like, how much does this take? Okay, it takes up the whole thing to do this. So, if that's the case, we really can't put it over there. So, let's remove some of these things and put it over here, because then we could put that there. But no, if we put that there, we don't have any way to go the other direction. So, no good, I don't think. Let's see, where can you go? That's the question. It's, not great. I think this is the key, possibly. The trouble is that none of this turns in any direction. And so, how can we get it in a position to take up all the spots correctly? Doesn't really work there, does it? Oh, this is only a 2 block. I didn't, for some reason I was thinking it was bigger. Okay, okay. In that case, we can do things a little bit differently than I was thinking. Oh no, it's a 4 block. Alright. Alright, so it is a 4 block after all. Trouble is, something like that won't work. As mentioned, I'm not particularly good at this. If we could turn it, then it would be great. That is not the case. So, what do we do here? What do we do? This goes 2, but it can't go. Okay, so it actually only goes 1 more out that way than it appears. So we could do something like this, but okay, so this is only a 2 block art. Alright, there we go. Took me a whole minute there. We got 30 diamonds and 50 stamina for our hard work. Alright, so that's interesting. Refreshes in 1 hour and 29 minutes. Okay. Alright, so there are a total of 8 floors, it looks like. And we got floor 1 and floor 2. Need to do 3 and 4, I guess tomorrow. This is my guess. I assume they're opening like that. I'm not really sure. Alright. Cool. Interesting. Oh, let's look here. Narvi is an adventurer with an insatiable curiosity, but organizing isn't her strong suit. Her storeroom is now in complete chaos due to her extensive treasure collection. I'm with Narvi. Organizing is not my strong suit either. Help Narvi organize your knapsack and she'll reward you with gifts. Drag and drop treasures to organize the knapsack. Okay, it doesn't tell us, you know, if it's like we only get 2 a day. I assume something like that. I don't know. Alright, now let's head back over to the summons, I think, because we have 4 more to use. So let's use some of these real quick. Let's see what we get in these boxes. Alright, we got Hollow, a 4-star healer from the cultist faction. I already have her, of course. I don't know how many times I have her awakened, but this would be nice to be able to awaken her further. Shrouded in enigmatic mystery, Hollow rejuvenates allies and regenerates rage. Cool. She makes people angry, faster. Let's see what we have next. We've got Ryder, the 2-star fighter. Obsessed with Arlo, this double-bladed warrior mimics his every move and heavily increase his own attack. And then Lightlock, the 4-star healer from the Watcher and the Northern factions. Knowledge is power. As the Archmage of the White Tower, Lightlock knows a thing or two about healing, which is cool. We have Lightlock already. He's a single target healer. He does decent healing. Here's Ryder, the 2-star fighter who's obsessed with Arlo. We just heard about him a moment ago. So, alright, cool, got all that. Now, back out of here, and we're at 215 out of 226 possible stamina. I'm gonna go ahead and send my guys out to do some artifact raids over here for this Oracle trial, which again is sort of a dual purpose thing. Well, multi-purpose, I should say. It's not even just a dual purpose, it's a multi-purpose event happening here. So, Mystery of Artifacts being one of those one of those things that we're interested in doing. We also have something to claim over here. 100 diamonds for the spiritual altar. That's for summoning our guys. We got some diamonds to summon more guys with. Now, I'm glancing over that real quick to see if there's anything I need to do. Nothing important. Let's go over to heroes and awaken some guys, because I know I have at least a couple who should show up for this. Here's Hollow. We haven't awakened Hollow at all, so this is going to be very good. It's going to allow each healing to restore 1% rage. That is very cool. I like it. Let's do it. Awaken. And let's see. Awakening her was good, and we got 4-star psychic power token for it. And then if we get to awaken her again at some point, her HP will go up a little bit. No complaints there. What else do we have? I know we have Lightlock, and there he is. And let's awaken him. Looks like the second awakening. And it'll give him plus 5% attack. That's all fine and well. He is an attack-based healer, so that will increase his healing. He is someone that I use occasionally, so it'll come into play, especially in the faction trials and stuff. So we got 1 4-star psychic power token for that. Now, I don't know that I have anyone else to awaken, but I think I will just kind of look through. I've got Nalvus. I'd forgotten about Nalvus. So this will be his 3rd awakening, which expands the explosion range of straw minions. I haven't used him much. He's very low level. I think he's like level 10 or something like that. And the only reason I would have used him is for the faction trials, but I'm not sure if I have. He is a mage, as I recall, who essentially he does DPS, like you would think. We got 1 4-star psychic power token for that. And then let's see if there's anybody else among my crew here who needs to be awakened. It's not looking real likely. And so no, nobody else is in dire need of awakening. We did, however, level up to level 54, which gives us 50 more diamonds and expands our stamina capacity by 3. Alright, now, in events, we've got Brave Conquest over here, which is from looting gear and meteorites from gear raid and artifact material raids, giving us 1 huge stamina potion. Speaking of, maybe I want to come over here and check on the storage and check on artifact and forge. Looks like we have some that are forgeable here, so let's do the legendary forge first and see what we get over here. We got a consuming rage, which increases crit rate by 5% upon entering combat. When a critical hit lands, increases crit rate by an extra 5%. Alright, looks like we can forge 5 for 150. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what we get here for these legendaries. So we got Nightmare Shadow, class limited to fighters, increases crit rate by 5% for every 5 attacks and can stack up to 3 times. Consuming Rage, we just saw. We got a couple of those. We got a Crest of Thunder, which is class limited to fighters, and it increases AoE damage by 10%. Cool. And a Keen Wisdom, which is, it says when there's any ally within 1 tile, it increases attack by 8%. Nice. Then we have a few forgeable artifacts on the Mythic Forge. We got Tumultuous Horn, which is class limited to healers. Increases initial rage by 25% when deployed. Well, that's cool. Let's see what else we have. Let's do the next one. We got Rage Chain, class limited to fighter. Increases critical damage by 0.3% for every 1% reduction in HP. So as your guy gets destroyed, it increases his crit damage. That's cool. Okay, so there was that. We have 1 left. Let's go ahead and do it. See what we get. It is a Dragon Blood Goblet. It's class limited to defenders. Increases defense by 10% and damage by 10%. When taking damage, both defense increase and damage increase are doubled for 8 seconds. Cool. Alright, Dragon Blood Goblet. Gauntlet. I tell you how do I manage this whole survival thing anyway? Alright, here we have a bunch of shards that can be turned into one gear recasting hammer. Let's do that. There we are. Got it. And now check on these background fights. We got 34,200 gold, 6,750 XP potions, 20 flawless meteorites, 48 radiant meteorites, 99 mithril, 312 mystery of artifacts trophies, and 312 brave conquest points. Very nice. That was a good run on the background fights. Looks like we've got plenty of stamina to do some more, so let's do that. Set some of these guys to go off. Stage 16, auto fight all the way. Start that, minimize, out of there. Okay, alright. So we're doing well over here in the Oracle's Trial. We are third place at the moment with 1,452 trophies. It's, you know, we also are almost at 1,500 points on the meter at the bottom. We got 1,452. We want to get up to at least 3,450 points just so that we can get all the goodies that are on this bar down here. Alright, let's hop onto there. I don't think I have anything else to summon with yet, but let's pop over to the Hyperion. We get 2 auto fight attempts from that. And it occurs to me, actually, before I do anything over there, I should probably go over to the heroes and see what I might want to do to them. We obtained a daily chest from Hyperion, giving us 10,000 gold there. So that's cool. Now, I did get some new, some new gear type stuff. So let's see if it thinks I should use something else for any of my primary guys first and foremost. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Maybe not. I think I'm not interested yet. Maybe I'll come back to it later. Who knows? I feel like that's maybe not the right choice. This is Cetrum. I don't mind his defense going down. His crit rate would go down a little bit. Not terribly, but a little bit. His crit damage would go down very small amount. His healing, that's not important at all. But the attack speed would go up 91. Feels like a good bit. And his attack would also go up. I mean, I think that's kind of okay. Feels like that could be a good thing. Let's do it. Alright, we got Xena over here. Only her defense would really go up, and her critical damage. She would lose hit points, which I don't so much care about, but her attack would go down somewhat significantly, and then her attack speed would go down as, a sixth. It doesn't seem like it. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a big trade right now. Honora, her attack speed would go down by 1, which is not much. Critical damage, slightly. Hit points would drop, but she'd gain a lot of attack. Her gain in defense doesn't really matter to me. Her gain in crit rate isn't massive. But I don't know, I feel like the attack bonus, I don't know, it's not huge. It's okay though. Is it worth the trade-off? I feel like it is. Let's do it. Now Cetrum, this guy here, Solkadins, feels like he could use some new stuff, and I think he can. This would drop his crit rate a good bit, which is not wonderful, but his attack would go up significantly, and his attack speed would go up significantly, which seems like that's a good idea. Let's do it. Alright, anybody else I want to mess with right now? Let's check Wrath. His attack speed would go up, which is pretty good. Let's see in my notes here. I like him having a good crit rate and a good attack speed. It would drop his crit rate significantly, and it would almost double his attack speed. It's interesting. I wish I knew more details about exactly how much the crit rate comes into play on this game. Um, how much extra damage is critical damage? I don't know. Um, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it primarily to get the attack speed up that much. That's insane. The attack itself would also go up a good bit, but yeah, yeah, this would do pretty good things for Idril. She'd be critting all the time. Her critical damage would go down 1%. That's almost irrelevant. Attack up. Um, attack speed would go down somewhat, but I think the trades are good here. Um, who else am I using lately? I mean, I think just check on Ain real quick. Um, so the rage regen would go down. That's more. I mean, that's a lot of what I'm using for is the rage regen. And his attack speed would also go down, and his attack would go down. I don't see that as being a great trade. So, all right, knocked that one out. Hollow is another one. We could use some stuff, maybe. This would bump her attack up, which is good because, again, she's an attack-based healer. Crit rate would go down. I don't remember if critical heals are a thing or not. Um, uncertainty is high. Uh, maybe I'll wait on that. All right. So, did I change his? Apparently, I must have. Did I? I'm not sure which ones I ended up doing. So, I'm gonna just. Oh, you know what? It was Morrigan that I didn't do. But apparently, that's perfectly fine. Let's look at Regulus. And just I don't have anything on her. I have done some things with him recently. This guy is Vortex. Um, mm, I don't know that that's really worthwhile for me. Haven't really been using Mari. I use Laurel sometimes, and it doesn't look grand for her. I use Baron sometimes. That's tough. I wonder what it would say for Gluttony. Out of curiosity. I don't know that I want to do it, but ooh, yeah, that's a good increase on his health. Um, I really don't see anything wrong with these suggestions here, but I also don't necessarily want to give him the stuff either, so I think I'll wait on that for a moment. And let's see here. We got these guys. I don't think we're needing any kind of promotions or anything for those ones. Looks like Sulkadins could use a promotion, and we can't start him up, unfortunately. Just don't have what it takes. I would have to level some guys up and then sacrifice them, and I don't know how much. Let's see, okay. I don't know how much XP I have. It's not nearly enough. 87,000 is like nothing. So, alright. Not super useful. But we did a little bit. Events, we got Brave Conquest, giving us 40 diamonds. Got a check mark on these background fights, 41,800 coins, 8,250 XP potions, 26 of these flawless meteorites, 29 radiant meteorites, 120 mithril, 272 mystery artifacts, trophies, 272 brave conquest points. Alright, knocked us down to only 6 stamina there. And over in this mystery of artifacts, we can claim this 2 legendary skill crystal shards. Not too shabby. Let's click on the hero training. See where we're at here. Nothing. That's where we're at. So I've done no things to my guys yet of note. Okay, let's see. We've got this fella sitting here with all kinds of auto rewards for us. 10 quick clear tickets, 2 insignia of endurance 3s, 2 arena permits, 3 auto fight attempts, and 1 huge stamina potion there. Alright, got all that. Now I have this guy, which I haven't done yet. And let's go to his thing. It's the Trial of the Watchers. I don't remember who's in my Watchers. Let's go look at the map. Okay, so it looks like this. We've got 3 portals that are air portals from the top. We've got a total of 5 portals that are on the ground. 4 on the right side, 1 on the left side. I don't really remember much about this level. I think the melee spots are in weird places, as I recall. We've got Lizard Fly Overlord with light armor, and he's ranged. Stitched Carrion, Crimson Ooze, Scalekin Soldier, and Scarlet Mage, who's also light armor and ranged. Alright, so what do we have available here? We've got this naked Leia here. She has no armor on. Doesn't need any because she's just being used as the Lord anyway, I believe. Which of course makes sense because she's the best Lord for the faction. Looks like I've got 1 healer in this mix here. I'm guessing, I don't know who this one is here, but it looks to me like I didn't get anybody new in this faction since the last time. But I have increased my guys' skills a bit. We're in the danger zone. Suggested BP is 583,680. We only have 353,301, which doesn't really bode well. None of these folks are particularly mind-blowing at the moment. Only have the 2 guys to use for the starring up of folks, so that's a shame. I would prefer to star somebody else up than Edril. I don't know. Gotta think about that one. Well, I don't think that we'll do particularly well with that faction quest. Could do it, but it's 1 o'clock, so I better not. Better just go ahead and do the quick clear and be done with these today. We got 10 Might Insignia 3s and 156 Hero XP potions, which if we go back to the Pantheon, let's see if that makes much difference. We would need 48 of these, and that would be to get the Might Insignia 2s. Doesn't work. No good. No good whatsoever. So, let's go to the basic trial, go to stage 7, and then auto fight. Well, no, let's go ahead and quick clear, because why not, right? Start that. We got 156 of the XP potions, and 20 of the Shelter Insignia 2s for that. Nice, nice. Out of here. We got some quest completion, clear faction trial on any difficulty level 1 time, which gives us 10,000 gold there. We got level up a hero 3 times as a daily quest, so let's hop over here. And why don't we just level Leia up 3 times? Why not? She's low enough level, it won't take much. May as well. Here's 1, 2, 3. Doesn't use too much of my stuff, and I get a stamina potion sample from my trouble. Get friendship points 1 time, sure, let's do that. Gave out those. Let's get our reward from that, which is 10 hearts, 10 friendship points. So we are at our maximum points. Let's go ahead and redeem some of these friendship points. And we'll just go ahead and redeem all of them. How about that? And then get out of there, claim these friendship points. Obtain one piece of gear from Gear Raid. Sure, we can do that real quick. Doesn't really matter to me greatly which one. Let's go ahead and do Gear Raid 1. And we can go to stage 18. We can quick clear this, I think. Start this. And we got 4,400 coins, 756 XP potions, one piece of gear, and 20 Brave Conquest points for that. Alright. And then back out of here. And go back to quests. We can claim that for 5 quick cleared tickets. And then also we can claim the box at the top for 35 diamonds as a result of that. Let's go ahead over to the mine and pick up anything there. We got 3,150 coins, 2,250 XP potions, 13 stamina, 1 diamond, and 1 mithril. Claim all that stuff. Pop over there. We got something in the Gold Dragon quest pass. Clear faction trial on any difficulty level 10 times. That gives us 1,125 Gold Dragon tokens and levels us up to level 48. I see that the real Xlo says, "Hi, I knew you were strong." Well, I don't know that I'm very strong yet. We're working through it, you know. I'm like halfway there. It's nice to meet you. We've got some level rewards here. We got 5 smoldering scales over there. All right, pop out of there. And let's go check on the arena real fast because I've got some things here. 268,897 is my BP. I don't want to do anything too crazy, but we'll try the big bad El Khazar here, who has 346,255 BP. He's probably going to beat me. Odds are very good, but let's give it a go anyway. I'm not scared. He's just gonna slaughter us. It'll be fine. All right, auto fight here. So the real Xlo, how long have you been playing? You said you're new. Did you just start today, or are you like a week or two? Over here, they have summoned. I think this is Valkyria. Let's see if I'm right. Ah, I was close. It's Valara. Valara is the name. Her ultimate is Wings of Pegasus. Can choose and move to a deployable tile within 4 tiles. Removes invisibility state, increases attack range, and deals 260% AoE damage to 10 enemy targets with each attack. Additionally, the talent inflicts enhanced slow. Very cool. So I guess maybe she's a tactician. And man, look at him, just blowing these guys up. We've got here Ingrid. Ingrid has solar mode and stellar mode. I don't know the difference between stellar mode and solar mode. I have a thought that maybe one of them is AoE and one of them is single target damage, but I'm not sure. Then we have Silas. He has Shadow Cloak. Damage increases by 80%, and each attack becomes soul snapping that ignores the defense and magic resistance of the target for 20 seconds. Alright, they're slaughtering us here, so this will be done soon enough. The real Xlo says about to be day 3. Yes, very new then. Very new indeed. Welcome to Watcher of Realms. It's been fun so far. I'm probably a couple of months in at this point. At least over a month and a half, maybe under 2 months, somewhere in there. But it's been a fun go so far. All right, now looking at the stats here, looks like top DPS was Arrogance with 2,613,000. That's followed by this person here, who may be Valara, possibly at the top, or that could be the second one. Not sure. One of these two very high damage dealers is Valara. Then they have Silas down here, who only got 213,908 damage. This other guy here, that looks like, I mean, it could be that guy named Praetus, or Pretus, however we want to pronounce that. And I see that they have the Lord for the Watchers in here. That Leia is there, um, which is gives good boosts to everybody. So there you go. All right, so for that abysmal failure, we got 3 arena coins. Very nice, very nice. And then we'll refresh our opponents and see what we have to play with. Now here we have Ebolai, who has 81,209 BP. Um, Even though they have such a low BP, we know that there must be something else going on because they're in this league, and if they're in this league, it means they're not as low as they appear. So we look at this, and we see that the stage monster BP is 304,533, which is higher by a good bit than the BP of my team, which means they have one guy who's exceptionally good, and then they didn't put anybody else in the team so as to keep their team BP down, and that makes them appear to be much less threatening than they actually are. But that's all right. We'll do it anyway. I don't mind. Don't mind getting slaughtered by a much lower BP guy. It's fine with me. Notice that his level is actually 65 also. So even though again he gives the appearance of having a low BP, and in fact he does, but that's because he only put one person in his group. And it's this person. Who is this? It's Sokaden's. Oh, cool, cool. I have Sokaden's. Uh, Sokaden's ultimate is Hell Breaks Loose. Upon activation, the talent effect increases damage by 11% for 12 seconds instead. It marks one target with the highest HP for 10 seconds, during which all heroes will prioritize attacking them. On expiring, the mark will explode, dealing 300% AoE damage. Additionally, when the hero is deployed as a lord, he gains Pyro Blitz. So all of this amounts to Sokaden's is very high DPS. And you'll notice that even though he can't quite keep up with my guys on the damage being dealt, he's doing very well. And if you weren't prepared and you thought like, oh, he doesn't have very much BP, and you go to attack him and you don't pay attention to the monster BP that comes along with him, then you're going to end up getting slaughtered by this guy. So it's a little bit of a sneaky way to do it. It makes sense to do what he's done, and he's going to trick a lot of people into attacking him when they really ought not to, and they're going to get a rude awakening from that. So we got a victory against Ebolai, 81,209 BP on that guy. And if we look at the stats over here, his Solkadens definitely out DPS'd anybody else. He got 2,881,000 damage. Next highest was Arrogance with 2,696,000 damage, even though we had significantly higher BP than he did. So keep that in mind. We also got 3 arena coins and 5,000 gold for that battle. Not too shabby. All right, let's see if there's anybody else reasonable. The next lowest guy on this board is 4005, or that's not zeros, that's 4005, I suppose. And they have 341,467 BP, which is, significantly more. It's like 75,000, 73,000 more than what I have. And probably they're going to slaughter me, but you know what? I don't mind. It's fine. You'll notice that the stage monster BP is the same as their team BP, which means they don't have like one character who's massively better than the other characters on their team. So it's, they don't have an ace in the hole. It's just their team overall is higher BP than mine. So who do we have here? This is Xeris. Xeris has the ultimate Enslave. Summons 4 Souls of the Damned and reduces the summoned number by 1 with each ultimate cast. A minimum of 1 Souls of the Damned can be summoned. Now, I don't know what that does, but it's bad, I can tell you that. So that was just slaughter right there. Absolute slaughter. Alright, so that was, I think, 4005. something like that was his name, yes, at 341,467 BP. And Xeris is the only guy they summoned. He did 523,994 damage, as compared to my highest DPS or my highest damage guy over here was Etril that time with 262,394. So Xeris did twice the damage that Etril did in much less time because Xeris wasn't having to do any damage while my base was being knocked down by the demon guy. Um, so yeah, Xeris just did phenomenal. All right, for that we got 3 arena coins, not too shabby. All right, hopping out of there. We have 3 out of 5 of our pieces remaining, our permits, that is. Let's check on Borut over here. He doesn't have anything that excites me and makes me want to do fancy things, but I am going to use my refreshes. I have 3 refreshes. You get 3 every day. So we'll use 1 free refresh. And again, I have nothing that's wonderful and lovely. So let's go again. And this time I've got some auto fight attacks. I probably don't need them at this point, but I think I don't really mind dropping the gold on them just in case that isn't correct. Let's use another free refresh here, and what we're really hoping for is some cheap rare summoning crystals. That's what I actually am wanting. We're gonna spend 500 to refresh again, and just a moment here. I've got a spammer in the chat that I gotta knock out. There we go. Now we got some more auto fight attacks here. Let's go ahead and use those, or buy those, I should say. We're not going to use them quite yet. Give me a moment, and then we will. 500 to refresh again, and sure. Let's get some more auto fight attacks. And now we're up to 1,000 to refresh, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. I would really kind of like to get some of those summoning crystals. It'd be kind of nice. It's not necessary, but I'll spend a little bit of gold to give it the old college try anyway. Yeah, nothing doing so far. Now the next refresh would take 5 diamonds, so I'm not going to spend any of my diamonds for it. So that's not a thing that's going to be in the cards, I'm afraid. All right, out of there, and now I have let's see, I have the guild quest to do today, I think. And again, being as how I'm fairly low on time at the moment, I'm gonna just run some auto fights on them. I did redo my auto fights on Nightmare, I think 2 and 1, or at least 2. Maybe it was 2 and 3. I may have done 2 and 3. But we'll go ahead and auto fight. I see that somebody, Bugajoy, has attacked Nightmare 2 twice. So let's go ahead and auto fight this one. And then if we win, but we haven't killed it, I mean, we're going to definitely win, but if we haven't killed the dragon, then we'll fight it again and finish it off. And if we have, then we'll go on and I guess attack Nightmare 3 would make the most sense. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know. I'm not sure how well the auto fight is against this one. I don't know. I feel like probably it won't be able to finish it off, but we'll see. Alright, so I've got the statistics running on the right-hand side over here, and we've got Arrogance at the top by far. He's double the DPS of the next highest guy, who is actually Cetrum right now. Now Cetrum is pretty good. I really appreciate his DPS overall, and And then, of course, after him is Idrin. Idrin is pretty phenomenal for someone who he has a good range in front of him that he can hit. He can hit multiple targets, and he also does good DPS, and he can take a beating a little bit too. He can actually take a little bit more of a beating than Arrogance can. So, um, oh yes, and that's where most of my guys died near the end, and it didn't even matter because it still got uh, the highest attempt on it that I had gotten um, at the time. So not too shabby anyway. Let's see now. That took it down a good ways, down to 16%. So we're going to go ahead and just do it again and finish this dragon off. That's going to give us 2 boxes, and it'll also give Bugajoa 2 boxes. So, it's not a bad deal. And they'll be the big, fancy, best boxes that we can get from this guy. So I think this is Nightmare 2, and we'll have some decent boxes out of it tomorrow, so can't complain too much. Or I could, I suppose, but anybody can complain, right? That's not a hard thing. So we'll try to be a little bit more impressive than that, right? Okay, so um, I don't know if for those of you who don't know, not aware, you can see the faction um, skills, Lord skills, going off over here in this bottom left area. It's not exactly bottom, but this left area down here, and it tells you how many of each of your guys you have currently out there doing their thing. So 5 in the Watchers and 2 in the Nightmare Guild for me for faction. It's something you can pay some attention to, and you can see when this like is going off if it's on a timer by the little circle that goes around it, like that colorful circle right there that's blue. So like that's for the Watcher thing. It says periodically increases faction team members' damage and healing bonus by 50% for 20 seconds. The more faction allies there are on the field or on the team, the more frequently it takes effect. So there you are. All right, 6,108 dragon blood for that. We did 16.29%, which is what it had left of its health. And that's going to finish up Nightmare 2. Very nice. We'll also click this, and it takes us to the Guild Quests window where we have challenged Drake's Chasm 2 times. And for that, we get 20 guild coins, 20 guild activity, and 5,000 gold. Let's go to the guild info and go to donation just to see what's going on over here. I don't want to donate diamonds. I'm not really interested in donating every skill crystals, I don't think. If we look at that, we only have 12 of them. Definitely don't want to do that. But the other thing we could do is donate 10,000 gold. And even though I don't love to donate gold, we can donate 50,000 and get 25 guild coins and 50 guild activity, which is a decent trade. So, good enough. Good enough, I said. Now, what next? It's 1:11 a.m. over here. So, I got to pay some attention to what I'm doing. I think, let's check on the arena with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in that before we can refresh. So there's no sense in that. We do have a good bit of stamina built up, so let's come over to the Oracle's Trial, go to Mr. Artifact, we're going to click Go, and then stage 16 and auto fight however many times. Looks like 5 times is the most that I can do. So we'll get that going. It also occurs to me we may have some more artifacts that we can make. Let's pop over to storage, artifact, forge, and we can make one thing on the legendary forge. Let's see what we get here. It is the Heart of Thorn. When taking damage, there's an 8% chance of dealing damage equal to 10% maximum health to the attacker. And it's limited to defenders, which is kind of too bad because I'd like to stick it on gluttony, but what can you do? Defenders, yeah. No, no good. I guess Baron, could do Baron. Make him have a little bit of DPS. Eh, not interested at the moment though. We got an award here for spending 500 stamina. This is a weekly reward, and that gives us 3 stamina potion samples. And each of those give 10 stamina, as I recall. Alright, so there's that. And then I want to go over to events, and we go to zombie invasion, because I haven't done that yet today. I know I've been kind of speed running through them a little bit. It's not really speed running. It's just going slightly faster than I normally would and not thinking very much, which is tantamount to the same thing. Now, as you can see, I have my potion reductions and things like that equipped right now. We're going to go ahead forward with that. And I'm just going to kind of more quickly go through it to get the daily rewards more than anything. And because that's what I'm doing, I'm just going to go with, since I was offered dark, I'm going to try to go with dark and light as my options. So there's dark. We got lightning chain. The dark thing there is spring of sticks. The light thing is lightning chain. And ideally, we want to get tornado and there's tornado and blazing bolt. And that's exactly what we were offered. So we were able to get those. I've turned ultimates on down there so that they'll go off automatically. And then we have options. And what we want is anything that has like a plus or an increases or something like that, which limits us to Death of Calamity 1 or 2 rather, or bounce attack 2 for the best bang for our buck on that. So I'm going to increase Springs of Sticks by 1 with each cast, and also increase damage overall by 20%. And so we're going to keep doing that kind of thing, but I want to also get things that aren't your basic stuff. So I want to get, like, this is, I guess, epic, if you want to call it that. So the higher rarity stuff and the stuff that that does, extra, like it increases something, right? So that's the goal for doing it just a little bit more speedily than sitting there and reading and thinking about the different possibilities and how everything goes together. Because again, some things stack and some things don't on here. And so you want to try to make sure that what you're doing is ideally not a replica of what you've already done. Um, so you can come and check by clicking on the icon over here to the right, and it'll show you what you've already chosen. Because I'm in more of a hurry today, I don't want to do that as much. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to try to, to grab pretty much things that I know are going to stack. So if it says a word like enhances, or increases, or like anything that says +1 pretty much, um, or some percentage increase, um, that will all stack as far as I can tell. So that's the comeuppance of my strategy, if you want to call it that, for quickly choosing what to grab. That plus, like I said, the color coordinating, also reduces cooldown. That's another one that stacks up to a point. I mean, eventually, if you get your cooldown down to like nothing, well, then you're not going to benefit from that. But otherwise, it's not a bad deal. All right, let's see. I don't like those, and so I'm going to go ahead and redo, and this time I've got a blazing bolt quantity +1, so that +1 stacks. We're gonna go with that. Now I have only 485 to spend, and I have 3 options, so it's kind of a tricky thing, but I think I'll go with the Fallen Phoenix, simply because the Fallen Phoenix, it summons tornadoes, which we already have things going with. We can also, because we got the cheaper one, we can also get the ultimate AoE potion and increase our AoE damage. So, feels like the right choice there. Currently on wave 10 for those who are keeping track. And, at this point, I feel like they're coming in too quickly. It's okay because, I'm not really going for one of the higher scores right now necessarily anyway, because I'll run out of time. But okay, here's this over here. The blessing is a good one if you have the potions as your tools. Because it says whenever obtaining any high quality potion, additionally gain 5% light damage increase. So if you've gone light and dark and you have the potions equipped, that's kind of it's just going to be a good one to get, absolutely. Not much doubt about it. So that's the Fallen Phoenix right there, and I don't know if you saw it summon some tornadoes, but that's what it does. So it's not really explicit in the when it's giving the description of what things are. I don't think that I got the Dark Burn potion, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think that I did. And let's also get the restores 10 rage per second, because that just seems like a good idea too. But yeah, so that's kind of the direction that I'm going at the moment with all of this. And this is kind of what you want it to look like around now, where things are not making it very far along the path towards your gate or your barrier. Normally, when things start piling up on your barrier and you're actually starting to get hit, it's pretty much the end of the game. So there's not a lot to do about it. There's some things that you can use to shield your barrier or to heal your barrier somewhat. And I'm not saying not to get those or anything. I'm just saying that if there's probably going to be a better option than that most of the time. So um, I would be wary of getting that, if that makes sense. So see here it says increases one spring of six with each cast, as opposed to Chain Blade, which says basic attack is a chance to summon one tornado. I don't know that the summoning of the tornado stacks, whereas the increases does in fact continue to increase the thing. So, you know, again, just something to keep in mind when you're looking at the wording on these things. So, they're on wave 17 at the moment. I think my favorite way to go with this, my favorite masteries to get is or are the dark and light stuff. I like those better than anything else. I've had good success with fire and ice, but I think I prefer the light and dark more than anything else personally. It just is. There's so much synergy with everything, and it's like some of the things are good for damage dealing, and some of the things are good for utility. So it's I don't know. It seems to work out pretty well. Now these guys are starting to get pretty close. They're going to start beating on my fence in a minute, and so that's not a great spot to be in. Now we might be able to knock them back a bit. We've got some dark mastery and some dark damage and some, crit rate. Or we could do, and I think I will in this case, do the XP plus 12,000 because it certainly use a bit of a few of these um, skill choices for sure. So again, try to get the stuff that stacks pretty much. Um, it's not always wonderful, but it's better um, you have an opportunity to get something good, basically. It's a good number of things that I was able to choose there, and that's a good thing because I definitely needed to do something in order to continue to survive. You can see that my gate already has a little bit of damage on it, and it's not going especially well, but we're still doing somewhat okay because because we were able to get that XP bonus and level up a couple more times fairly quickly than we otherwise would have. That being said, it's not looking really great right about now. Could increase my dark damage plus 20%, but I could also instead just get this one extra skill choice and have a chance at getting something even better. So that's exactly what's happened here because we got the dark damage plus 20% that we could have chosen, but also, along with it, have Tornado has a chance to inflict dark burn when dealing damage. So that's just pure benefit right there. It's exactly the same thing, but better. At this point, I doubt it matters too much because I think we're on the downhill slope now. We're on wave 26. That's, that's decent for the speed that, we're going at here. Successfully reached wave 26, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Not too shabby. Spring of Sticks did 51% of the damage, followed by Tornado at 32%, Blazing Bolt at 8%, and Lightning Chain at 7%. So, there you go. That's what that looked like. And after that, we get to come over to quests here, and we have a few things to claim. So, challenge one time daily during the event gives us 1 or 10 auto fight attempts. Challenging 6 times during the event gives us 10 gleaming meteorites. And eliminating 128 waves of monsters during the event gives us 10 ancient summoning crystal shards. Very nice, very good, all wonderful. Okay, let's pop out of here, come over to this, which is our background fights. 19,000 gold, 3,750 XP potions, 17 flawless meteorites, 10 radiant meteorites, 55 mithril, 142 mystery artifacts trophies, and 142 brave conquest points for that. Pretty good takeaway. And then pop up the arena real quick. Yes, I can refresh the arena, which the low man on the totem pole is Narciso 1. And let's see what he's got going on. If I come here, I can look, and stage monster BP is 225,491, which is a little bit higher than what his group BP is, meaning he has somebody a little bit better than the rest of his guys on the team. But he doesn't have like a standout guy who's going to just be apart. So let's see how that plays out here. We have Eovar. Infinite Blades is his ultimate. Consumes all flying swords and activates the flying sword formation to continuously deal 40% damage to the enemy with the lowest HP and range. The frequency of strikes increases with the number of flying swords, reaching up to 60 strikes with 12 flying swords. The next person he has here is Etrol. She is the one with limitless shots. So her ultimate says, during the skill effect, each basic attack fires 3 consecutive shots to one enemy, each dealing 80% damage, lasting for 25 seconds. During the ultimate, the hero's attack range becomes unlimited, and her attacks no longer prioritize airborne units, so she can hit anywhere on the board. And she also is very good against the airborne units, as it indicated here. Now we have Kai. I don't have Kai. He's level 50. He's got an ultimate called Doomsday Cluster. Launches a cluster projectile at the farthest one enemy in range, causing an explosive impact upon contact. The explosion deals 550% AoE damage, and then I don't know what the rest says. But we won that, and that was against Narciso 1, 206,310 BP on that guy. Stats show that the top DPS was Arrogance with 2.4 million BP or damage, sorry, and then followed by Eovar at 1,970,000 damage. So it's all fine and well. We got 3 arena coins and 5,000 hero XP potions for that. Let's go back and see what we can do here. I think we've got another attack that we can make for sure against P went 307. That's the name. Could be Quint 307. Who knows? 244,166 BP on that one. So let's look at his stuff. Yeah, okay. The stage monster BP is the same as his. So his team is just all really balanced pretty well. Cool, cool, cool. They've thrown out Idril first, which is exactly what we've done on our end. We have exactly the same thing happening on both places. We have slightly more BP than they do, which might mean that we do better, but no, it didn't. Because I don't know why. Their guy is level 50, our guy is level 50. We got arrogance now. Arrogance is gonna do something, but Neza has massive DPS as well. She has, or he has, Red Lotus Revenge. When activated, increases attack by 60% and expands attack range to create Windfire Whirl lasting for 30 seconds. When the ultimate ends, deals up to 300% AoE damage to up to 10 enemy targets in range based on the number of weapon switches performed during the ultimate. Alright, who else they have here? They just summoned Sithra. I don't know Sithra, although I've seen them before. Sithra has Fatal Kiss, summons Tormented Soul in attack range. When summoned, deals 100% AoE damage one time to up to 8 enemy targets around Tormented Soul. When the hero's current HP is greater than 30%, causes HP drain equal to 40% current HP. And then they've thrown out Silas over here. So they also have Dr. Van Helsing. I think Dr. Van Helsing may have a lot of DPS too. He has Silver Guillotine. When activated, gains 30% penetration and immediately triggers one talent special attack. Ultimate lasts for 25 seconds. During the ultimate, increases the giant axe attack's chance to ignite mithril shrapnel to 100%. That seems like a lot. I don't really know. I don't know enough about it. Silas has Shadow Cloak. That's the one whose damage increases by 80%, and each attack becomes soul snapping that ignores the defense and magic resistance of the target for 20 seconds. Yeah, so I think that is everybody on their team, and that was the end of that round as well. So we ended up getting the victory against Quint 307, who has 244,166 BP, I believe. And looks like the top damage dealer was this fellow here, whoever this is in the mask. Could be no, don't know. Let's see. So that was the top damage dealer on their team. On my team, the top damage dealer was Arrogance at 5,950,000 damage. Then Cetrum was next with 3,666,000, followed by Neza at 2,290,000. So we got 3 arena coins for that and 5,000 gold for it. Alright, let's see. The only other one that I'll risk against is this, I don't remember the name already. But the stage monster BP of them is 335,852, which is 70,000 almost more than, I guess 65,000 more than I have on my team. Odds are it's not going to go well at all, but that's alright. We'll give it a go anyway. Alright, they've thrown out Yuri over here. Yuri has Needle of Torment, which is an ultimate that deals 5 hits of 75% damage per second to one enemy target in range. When a target dies during the skill, gains 5% rage and targets one other enemy near the fallen target. So they put that one out, and they also put Numera out. Numera has reached Nature's Wrath. It immediately gains 2 extra Grimthorn spikes and rapidly launches all Grimthorn spikes. Don't know what the rest says. So that was Newth Rush with 335,852 BP. And they had top DPS or top damage in general with Yuri, who had 435,829 damage. My top was Etril that time, with 279,471 damage. We got 3 arena coins and 5,000 gold for that. Alright, cool. Let's hop out of there. And I think that'll be about it for me for the night, because I gotta try to get to bed, hopefully, within the next couple hours anyway. So now is the time to start toward that. It has been a pleasure streaming with you all. It was nice to meet you, the real X Low. Hope to see you around again sometime. If you're not following me, be sure to follow me and turn on notifications so that you can see when I go live. Hopefully, I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully, I'll see you then. Good night for now.